Here is your full, long, emotional, cinematic 40-minute style story, written in plain paragraphs only, with a hook that grabs instantly, smooth pacing, deep emotions, relatable characters, and an inspiring final message. I've also added subtle motivation for viewers to like and subscribe, as you requested. You look tired, sir, the little girl whispered, her tiny voice barely rising above the hum of the airplane engines. The CEO blinked, startled. He'd boarded the flight desperate to shut the world out. No emails, no meetings, no responsibilities, just silence. Yet here she was, a 7-year-old stranger with soft brown eyes studying his face like she could see every crack he tried so hard to hide. And he had no idea that this moment, this simple sentence, would change everything about his life. If you're watching this, stay with us till the end, you won't forget this story. And if you believe kindness still exists, make sure to like this video and subscribe for more inspiring stories. The CEO, Ethan Hale, forced a smile. His company, Hale Tech, had just closed its biggest quarterly deal, but instead of celebrating, his staff whispered behind his back, "He looks worse every day. He never rests. He doesn't even smile anymore." And all those whispers were true. Ethan had built an empire, yet somehow lost his life inside it. He slumped deeper into his seat, rubbing his temples. "Do I really look that tired?" he asked the girl. She nodded without hesitation. "Yes, like my daddy before he went to heaven." Ethan froze. The plane lights dimmed, but the story unfolding between them was suddenly the brightest thing in the cabin. The girl's mother leaned over quickly. "Emma, sweetheart, don't bother the man. It's okay," Ethan said gently. Something about the girl's honesty tugged at him with a familiarity he didn't understand. Emma smiled softly. "My daddy used to say grown-ups get tired when they forget happy things." "So, did you forget your happy things too?" The question hit him harder than any boardroom confrontation ever had. He looked down. "Maybe I did." Emma swung her legs beneath the seat, humming a tune as she colored in her notebook. Ethan tried to close his eyes, but something kept drawing him back to the little girl, to her simple peace. Every few minutes, she would glance up and observe him with the seriousness of a tiny therapist evaluating her patient. "Do you work too much?" she asked suddenly. Ethan laughed under his breath. Yes, too much." She frowned. "Then no wonder you're sad. My daddy worked too much too. He said he didn't want to miss anything, but then he missed everything." Those words sank deep, sharp, painful, and painfully true. The plane hit slight turbulence, and Emma's hand shot toward Ethan, gripping his sleeve. She wasn't crying, she wasn't scared, she was just seeking reassurance. Something inside Ethan softened. He placed a steady hand over hers. "You're safe," he told her. She nodded. "You remind me of him." The mother exhaled quietly. Ethan caught it, that sigh of someone carrying too much pain. Too many memories, too many responsibilities. He knew that feeling all too well. Hours passed. Slowly, Ethan found himself talking. Not about mergers, not about profits, about his childhood, his mother's laughter, how he used to draw imaginary cities in his notebooks. Things he hadn't spoken of in years. Emma listened like every sentence mattered. "My daddy said grown-ups forget they were kids," she said. "But if they remember, they get strong again." Ethan stared at her. How could someone so small hold so much wisdom? When the flight attendant came with snacks, Emma tore her cookie in half and offered it to him. "Here, you need it more." Ethan accepted it with a soft chuckle that felt strange in his chest. When was the last time he laughed without forcing it? Somewhere mid-flight, Emma fell asleep, her head against her mother's arm. The mother looked at Ethan and said quietly, "She doesn't talk about her father to anyone. But she opened up to you." "Thank you." "Did he really work that much?" Ethan asked. The mother nodded slowly. "He was a firefighter. Every time he left home, he said he'd be back soon. He wanted to be everyone's hero, except his own. He died on duty last year." Emma thinks he got tired because he forgot to rest. Ethan swallowed hard. The mother continued, her voice shaking. "So whenever she sees someone exhausted, she thinks she has to save them, like she couldn't save him." Ethan's heart twisted. As the plane descended, Ethan noticed Emma's drawing left on her tray. It was a picture of a tall man with droopy eyes, and a tiny girl holding his hand, a bright sun shining above them. Underneath, she'd written, "Don't forget your happy things." He tapped the mother's arm. Can I keep this? She hesitated, then nodded. She'd want you to. When the plane landed, Emma woke up and stretched. Before Ethan could say goodbye, she wrapped her small arms around his waist. You won't forget, right? He kneels. I won't. I promise. As she walked away, something in Ethan felt like it was breaking open and being rebuilt at the same time. Back at his corporate headquarters, Ethan pinned Emma's drawing on his glass office wall. His employees noticed the shift within days. He greeted people with real kindness, stepped out of meetings early to let his team rest, stopped sending late-night emails. He even reinstated the company's family time policy that he himself had ignored for years. And for the first time in a long time, he took a day off. He flew back to the same city, hoping, without really expecting, to see Emma again. He had no address, no full name, just a feeling. He bought a stuffed toy, a small brown teddy bear holding a heart that said, "Thank you." He found them by accident, at a small park, where Emma was pushing a little girl on the swing. When she saw him, her face lit up like fireworks. You remembered. He knelt down. I told you I would. The mother smiled. We were just talking about you today. Ethan handed Emma the teddy bear. This is for you. For reminding strangers to be human. Emma giggled. And this is for you. She pulled out a rubber bracelet from her backpack. It was purple, printed with the words, "Take a break, be awake." My school made these, she said proudly. For remembering people who work too much. Ethan slipped it onto his wrist, and for the first time in years, he felt peace settle in him like a warm blanket.